Perhaps today you feel the weight of life on your shoulders. Perhaps your soul trembles and the day feels long, as if hope were far away and God remains silent. But listen, His promise is still open. The Father does not forget what He spoke over your story. He has not let you go. He has not given up on you. There is still a rest prepared, a refuge where tears end, and every wound finds comfort.
Even if you walk through valleys you don't understand, even if the night surrounds you and the storm feels endless, His faithfulness still burns over your life. Grace is not run out and heaven is still calling you. So lift your gaze, breathe, let yourself be held by hope, because what God once declared has not lost strength, has not lost truth. The promise still stands. There is a place not made by hands, beyond the clouds, the golden land, a home prepared by Christ on high, where everything is light and everything is love, an eternal city without decay or time, where peace breathes and the soul sings softly, where even the air feels like a prayer and every corner shines with the grace of the Lord. We'll walk through fire, face the storm, but in His arms our soul feels warm. Every tear we shed, He gathered with tenderness and turned it into joy. We never imagined, we saw long nights that refused to end, but His voice whispered, do not fear, I go with you beyond this. And though fear touched us, it could never break the faith He planted to make us move forward. And there we understood that even silence speaks, that pain becomes a teacher when Christ embraces it, that we are not alone, not even when everything collapses, because a steady hand still holds us together. The promise still stands, eternal and true, a place of rest for you and for me. Lift your eyes, behold the heavens, where saints and angels harmonize. Pain cannot live, nor can shadows fall. The Lamb of God is Lord of all. The battle is over, the race has been run. We rise to receive the resurrected Son. At times we walk through human doubt, searching for answers with tired hands, but He patient reminds us of His truth. Faith is not seen, it is one step beyond, and we keep moving like pilgrims of the soul, with open hearts and lifted hope, because we know well that what awaits above is greater than the tears, stronger than the breaking. There will be no farewells, nor days without color. There will be no cold night to hide the radiance. The streets will reflect His unending glory, and a river of eternal life will flow unaltered. The redeemed children will sing in unison, the song that never dies, that vibrates in the divine, a vast symphony that heaven itself ignites, where the souls and everything in Him is understood. Oh, what a glorious day when we see His face, when pain becomes history and fear turns to dust, when the new heaven opens the gates of comfort and every broken heart finds its longing, for He promised to return like the morning light, and every knee will see His sovereign majesty, and every tongue will confess that His love never fails, that He reigns in the eternal and over every battle. The promise still stands, it has never changed. His faithfulness holds the world in His leave sorrow behind. The eternal home calls with a gentle voice from within. Walk without fear, the door is open. Christ is the way, the truth that awakens us. And as we advance through songs and promises, eternity blossoms, and the heart is restored in His presence.
We continue walking along the path He marked for us before we were even born. A path that at times feels narrow, and at others shines like a sunrise breaking the darkness, but always upheld by His faithful hand. We walk not because we possess strength of our own, but because every step is sustained by a grace that surprises us, rescues us, and lifts us again when the soul feels defeated. And on this journey where many choose to turn back, we move forward because we know we are not wandering alone. We are chosen, guided, loved by the one who conquered death and opened the eternal way to glory.
Sometimes we look back and see footprints marked by tears, moments when the heart nearly broke, when the night felt endless. But even there, when silence pressed in, when doubt rose like a giant, we heard a gentle whisper saying, "Do not fear, keep going, I am with you." And so every darkness lost its strength, every fear slowly surrendered, and what once seemed impossible became living testimony of His faithfulness. For the way of the saints is not measured by comfort, but by presence, and wherever He goes, there we find rest. In the midst of the desert He gives us water, in the midst of the fire He covers us, in the midst of the fall He lifts us, and we keep moving forward. Sometimes with tired feet, but with a spirit burning like a lamp that does not go out, fed by a hope that never grows old.
In the distance we see mountains that seem too high, challenges that try to stop us, voices of the world saying it's not worth continuing. But the voice of the shepherd is stronger, sweeter, truer. He calls us by name, and the soul recognizes His tone, as one recognizes home even from afar. And there, though the wind strikes and the days feel heavy, we anchor ourselves in the promise that never expires. My grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in your weakness.
And we keep climbing, step by step, without haste, but without stopping, because we know that every meter walked in obedience carries eternal weight. Heaven watches the angels rejoice over each silent victory no one else sees, yet great before the throne. And as we advance, we realize we are not the same as before. The path itself transforms, shapes, purifies, teaches. Every trial becomes a teacher, every wound becomes a doorway, every fall becomes an altar where He proves His love has no measure.
We see other saints walking too, some with firm steps, others trembling, others lifting those who have stumbled. And we understand that this path is not individual. but a divine tapestry where God weaves stories, strengthens bonds, and causes the weak to find support in the strong, and the strong to find humility in serving. For no one arrives alone. We arrive together, sustained by the faith we share and the love He pours out.
And as we walk, the horizon opens. We begin to glimpse flashes of the kingdom, small lights shining through the weariness, signs that the eternal is nearer than we think. A peace with no human explanation, a joy born without logical reason, a certainty that vibrates in the chest saying, keep going, not many steps remain. The home awaits you. The way of the saints is not merely a route, it is a living story etched with sacrifices, tears and silent victories. It is heaven's memory engraved on the earth. It is evidence that though the world trembles, the soul has a fixed direction. Christ the author and finisher of our faith. And as we advance with hands lifted high, or sometimes dragging them, He reminds us that every step matters, that every effort is seen, that every prayer is heard. And so with a steady heartbeat and our gaze lifted upward, we continue walking toward the eternal city. We know this is not the end. We were not born to remain in the dust, but to rise with Him. The way of the saints continues, and we walk with the conviction that the glory to come is greater than any shadow left behind. For the eternal calls us, the light guides us, the King goes before us, and we follow Him until heaven opens in full.
Sometimes, as we walk through life, we feel something vibrating within. A kind of calling that does not come from the earth, but from heaven itself. It is not a physical sound, yet it resounds in the soul, as if the kingdom were dropping invisible notes to remind us that we were not made for the temporary, but for the eternal. These echoes awaken us when the heart is tired, lift us when the spirit grows numb, and remind us that there is a greater reality we cannot see, but that surrounds us with constant gentleness. They are echoes that come from the throne where the saints worship day and night without weariness, where angels lift harmonies the human mind cannot decipher. They are echoes that cross impossible distances, that pierce through the atmosphere of fear and slip into the cracks of the soul when we think we are alone. There, in that very moment when sadness tries to seal our voice, these echoes brush against our chest, call us from within, and whisper that the kingdom is still advancing, that nothing is lost, that the story is not over.
Sometimes they arrive like a whisper, other times like a soft roar, but they always come with authority. They are like waves of light that strike gently, entering through wounds we thought were closed, bringing balm and truth. They remind us that there is a king seated in majesty, who rules with justice, who knows every moment, every step, every tear unseen by others. And when these echoes find us, the heart grows still, surrenders, and yields to the certainty that we do not walk in vain. The echoes of the kingdom do not only call, they reveal that God's plan is greater than anything we dream, that our small struggles are tied to heavenly battles He has already won. They reveal that faith moves mountains, not because it is strong, but because it is placed in the God who created the mountains. They reveal that the eternal embraces us even when we cannot feel it, that the divine touches the human far more often than we imagine. And as we continue forward, we begin to discern these echoes more clearly. They are no longer distant murmurs, but melodies that accompany every step. Sometimes they are felt in prayer when the soul opens and heaven responds with an unexplainable peace. Sometimes they are felt in the silence, when the noise of the world stops for a moment, and the spirit hears a music that does not come from instruments, but from the very presence of God. Sometimes they are felt in the midst of pain, when something inside of us breaks, yet something deeper grows stronger. They are constant reminders that the kingdom is not a distant place, but a reality that has already begun within us. It is the seed Christ planted, growing even in dry soil. It is the light that ignites in dark rooms. It is the living word that pierces bone and spirit, that transforms, renews, and challenges. And these echoes call us to remain firm, to not yield to the shadows, to lift our heads when weariness wants to lower them.
They also begin to open our vision. We start seeing beyond the natural. We see purpose where we once saw pain, doors where we once saw walls, paths where we once saw abysses. It is as if the kingdom unfolded its map before us, revealing that we are not lost, but guided with divine precision. And that revelation fills us with strength, moves us to rise, to keep believing in the midst of what seems contradictory.
The echoes of the kingdom also prepare us. They teach us that eternity is closer than we think, that what hurts today will become tomorrow's testimony, that what weighs today will become tomorrow's glory, that what seems dark today will become multiplied light tomorrow. They remind us that heaven is not an uncertain destination, but an absolute certainty promised by a God who never lies. And as these echoes continue to resonate, the heart becomes expectant. Something in us awakens with hunger for more, with deep longing for His presence, with desire not only to walk toward the kingdom, but to walk with the kingdom within. And so in the midst of difficult days, heavy nights, or seasons of silence, these echoes keep us alive, because there's nothing more powerful than a word that comes from heaven, nothing stronger than a promise born from the throne. And so we continue listening, tuning the soul, allowing these echoes to shape us, cleanse us, lift us. They are like invisible bells announcing what is coming, an open heaven and eternal glory, a victorious King who will soon say, "Come, good and faithful servant, enter into the joy of your Lord." And when that day arrives, we will understand that each echo was a preview of the eternal song. awaiting us beyond time. There are moments along the path when the weight of life feels more real than ever, when strength seems drained and the heart beats like a weak drum, barely keeping rhythm. These are the moments when the soul looks around and finds nothing to lean on, when uncertainty becomes a restless sea and the spirit begins to sink slowly. But right there when we feel we are about to fall, the hand that sustains appears firm, warm, eternal, extended from above, with the same tenderness with which the shepherd lifts a wounded sheep. The hand does not arrive late, even when it seems time is overtaking us. It does not arrive with noise, though its power is infinite. It comes like a silent embrace, entering through the deepest crack of the soul and repairing it from within. Many do not see it, but everyone feels it when it draws near. For it is not just any hand, it is the hand of the God who created the heavens, who holds galaxies, who formed life itself with a whisper. That is the hand that touches our story when we need it most. And there is something special when we allow ourselves to be held. Something shifts, something straightens within. It is as if the weight of the world no longer falls on our shoulders but on His. As if exhaustion gives way to a strength that does not come from us, but from the perfect love that never grows tired. And so even when tears fall, they do not fall the same. They fall into His fingers, where they are not lost, where they become testimony, where they turn into seeds of joy that will one day bloom with light. For this hand has held many before us, weary prophets, persecuted kings, women weeping at dawn, men who did not know how to continue, and it failed none of them. It will not fail you either. This hand lifted Peter when he sank in the sea, touched the eyes of the blind man, healed the leper, and stretched out toward the cross in love. It is the same hand that rose again, that defeated death, that opened the tomb with an authority no earthly power could ever match. When that hand sustains you, no abyss can swallow you. Sometimes we think we must be strong, that we must rise on our own, that we must present a firm face, even when we are broken within. But the hand that sustained asks for no match. It does not demand perfection, it does not ask for performance. It only seeks a heart willing to rest. And when we release the tension, when we stop fighting in our own strength, we discover He was already there, upholding us without being noticed, filling every crack, holding us even in the moments when we were letting everything go. There are days when we move forward only halfway, when the soul walks dragging its feet, but even then, the hand does not let go. Sometimes it pushes us gently, sometimes it carries us, sometimes it simply holds us in silence until strength returns. He does not tire like men, He does not change moods, He does not abandon us midway. His faithfulness is as firm as the stars He Himself hung in the sky. When life hurts, the hand covers us. When fear screams, the hand calms us. When we lose direction, the hand guides us. When we want to give up, the hand lifts us. And it does so with infinite patience, with immeasurable love, with a firmness that never cracks. That hand has cared for generations, guided nations, raised the dead, healed the broken. How would it not sustain you? And as we keep walking, we begin to recognize His touch. We no longer doubt as much. We no longer run as we used to. We begin to trust, to rest in the truth that it is not us who hold on to faith, but He who holds on to us. That changes everything. It changes how we speak, how we walk, how we face the night. Because we know that even if everything trembles around us, one thing does not tremble: His hand. The hand that sustains also corrects, but it does so in love. Sometimes it stops us to prevent disaster. Sometimes it redirects us when the path begins to drift. Sometimes it pushes us forward when we are afraid to move. But always, always it does so to bring us closer to His eternal purpose. And though we do not understand at the moment, time reveals that every movement of that hand was perfect. And when the day comes, when we look back, we will see a path covered in footprints. Many of them will not be ours. They will be the footprints of the God who carried us when we could no longer walk. The footprints of the God. There are visions the soul keeps, even when the eyes have not seen them yet. One of them is the river of life, that eternal flow that springs from the throne and runs like liquid light through the heavenly city. It is not an ordinary river. Its current does not drag you down. It lifts you up, it doesn't merely wet. It purifies, it doesn't only refresh. It awakens the eternal that sleeps inside every weary heart. Whoever drinks from its waters finds a strength that never fades, a joy that never withers, a peace that does not depend on seasons or climate. Sometimes when we close our eyes in the middle of prayer, it feels as if the river spills a little over into the earth, as if a drop of its purity slipped through the heavens and touched the spirit. And in that touch, something is renewed. Burdens grow lighter, fears grow smaller, problems lose their weight. It is as if the river of life speaks in a language without words, saying, "You have not yet seen what I have prepared for you." And the soul, even without fully understanding, knows enough to keep walking. That river flows through streets that shine with their own light, streets that need no sun, because the glory of the Lamb passes through them like a perpetual dome. The waters reflect that glory like a perfect mirror. No shadow can dim its radiance, no night can invade its course. It is an eternal river, born from the very heart of God, a pure expression of His limitless life. Along its banks grow trees that never lose their green trees, whose roots touch eternity and whose leaves are healing for entire nations. Their fruit changes with each season, not because it ages, but because the grace of God expresses itself in countless ways. Every fruit speaks of a different facet of divine love. Mercy that rescues, justice that restores, grace that covers, goodness that stays close. And those who eat of that fruit are not only satisfied, they are transformed. Their eyes open, their soul expands, their spirit ignites like a living ember. And as the river flows, it also sings. Its sound is a song that does not belong to this earth, a gentle murmur that reminds us of eternity. It is not a repetitive noise, it is a living hymn, always new, always deep, always full of the presence of the God who is life itself. Sometimes it sounds like a chorus, sometimes like a whisper, sometimes like a wind that touches the heart. But it is always a call to come closer, to drink, to rest, to trust. Those who approach the river of life never leave the same. The water touches the hidden places within and cleanses memories, strengthens bones, heals wounds buried beneath layers of silence. It is water that understands what no one could name, that heals what was never spoken, that restores what seemed lost. And it does so effortlessly, quietly, gently, as if every drop carried within it the wisdom of the entire heavens. The river of life also reveals the throne. Its waters are so clear that they show the glory without distortion. Everything that flows within it comes from the Lamb, who reigns with power and gentleness. And when the soul contemplates that scene, something realigns inside. Life stops feeling chaotic, the mind stops running, the heart finds a new rhythm, slower, deeper, more connected to eternal purpose. It is as if the river carries not only water but direction, and in that direction we understand something, that our walk on earth was only the prelude, that every tear planted a future moment of glory, that every burden became part of an eternal testimony, that pain was never wasted, that hope was never misplaced, because everything was leading us here, to this river that sings life, to this river that embraces souls, to this river that flows from the heart of the God who never fails. At the river's edge, many have paused in vision. Their spirits have felt what their eyes have not yet seen. They have sensed the light, the song, the gentle breeze that blows from eternity, and that glimpse becomes fuel for the journey. Because a single drop of that river can sustain years of battle. A single vision can ignite decades of faith. A single word born from its waters can transform entire generations. And as we keep walking through this life, we know we are not moving toward nothing. We are moving toward that river, toward that place where there is no death, no tears, no pain, where life does not end but expands without limits, where the soul no longer has to defend itself, because everything that exists is love, where every wound finds rest, where every story finds purpose, where every heart This is the river of life, the eternal. In the weary day, when the sun seemed to hide behind mountains that refused to open a path, we heard a gentle voice like a breeze in the desert, whispering our name with eternal patience. It was the Holy Spirit moving through our cracks, breathing life into what seemed lost, lifting what others called ashes, touching what the world considered forgotten. And as we walked, He went before us, preparing the path we did not know how to travel, removing stones, straightening steps, embracing our fear like one who holds a child. In the night, there were moments when we thought there would be no breath left, that the trial was bigger than our weak hands. And yet there He was, placing fire where there had only been cold, placing faith where only a thread of doubt remained. And He said to us, go on, for I uphold you. And He said, look, for I will light the way. And He said, believe, for I will lift you up. Every word from Him was a river carving a path through dry lands, a beam of light breaking through impossible clouds, a promise beating inside the chest. The Spirit wrapped us like a warm mantle that never wears out, like an eternal fragrance that does not fade with the wind. He reminded us of the miracles we had forgotten, the victories we never celebrated because we kept running, the times God delivered us when we didn't even know we were in danger. He restored our memory of heaven, the certainty that we belong to Him, the conviction that nothing can extinguish what He has ignited. And so step by step, song after song, we began to feel our soul regain strength, our bones dancing once again, and our voice broken by so many battles rose once more to sing. And in that divine impulse we understood something profound. We were not walking alone, we never were. Every fall at His hand beneath it, every night at His lamp above it, every silence had its hidden whisper, and what seemed like the end was simply the beginning of a new chapter written by God. Holy Spirit, eternal wind, You are guide, strength and comfort. Blow today over this weary heart, ignite once more the sacred fire. Take my steps, make them steady, take my hands, make them useful. May Your presence be my heaven on earth, my peace in the war, my light when night closes in. Oh Spirit There was a day, we all remember it, when heaven stopped being a distant point and descended into our valley like a river overflowing mountains. That day the air changed, the shadows lost their strength, and a glow, gentle yet steady, touched our cheeks as if God himself were caressing us. It wasn't a dream, though it felt too perfect to be real. It was the answer to every cry, the sign the soul had been searching for in endless nights. And as we moved forward, we felt the dust of the road grow lighter, as if the very earth was celebrating that the kingdom was drawing near. The heavens opened, yes, we saw it, like an immense door made of liquid light. A door that didn't ask permission, but instead invited the heart to believe without trembling. And from that radiance came voices, voices ancient as eternity, voices filled with peace, voices saying, "Do not fear, the Master walks with you." And that phrase, so simple and so powerful, was enough to break invisible chains, to silence storms roaring inside the chest, to remind us that we were not walking through a desert at random, but along a path traced by divine hands before time began. As we continued forward, we realized something else was changing. The air was becoming music, the wind seemed to sing, the trees bowed their branches as if greeting the one who walked behind us. Every step echoed into eternity, and our feet, clumsy, tired, wounded, felt as light as wings. It was as if heaven were saying, "This is what it feels like when God opens the way." And we understood that no human door, no wall built by fear, no obstacle born of pain, can stand when He decides to clear the path. And in the middle of that glorious advance, we looked back and saw the incredible. The darkness could no longer follow us, it stayed behind, still defeated. Doubt dissolved like smoke, fear lost its voice, and a single thought filled our spirit completely. If God is here, what could stop us? And with that certainty lighting our chest, we quickened our steps toward the light. When heaven opened the way, the chains fell to the ground, our tears became song, and the night turned into memory. Oh, glorious King, the one who opens and no one can close, the one who calls and everything responds. Guide our steps to the promised home. If you're like those before us, no shadow can remain. When we kept moving forward, we discovered there was a radiance waiting for us ahead, a light so strong and so pure that the soul itself seemed to awaken at the sight of it. That radiance was not from the sun, nor from some newborn star. It was the glory of the Lord manifesting like a living mantle, covering mountains and valleys. Every step we took toward that light seemed to tear away old fears, as if the shadow inside us had to surrender before the presence that fills everything. And we felt deeply that we were entering the territory where weariness dies and faith becomes wind. As we drew closer, the very ground seemed to transform. The dry places blossomed, the crooked became straight, the dead began to tremble as it breathed in again. It was a silent miracle, but so powerful it left us without words. We could feel the heartbeat of heaven, a heartbeat that wrapped around us like an eternal song. And in that moment we understood that when God chooses to reveal himself, he doesn't just light the path, he lights those who walk it. Our doubts trembled, our fears stepped back, and our wounds, those we hid in the deepest places, began to close under the warmth of his presence. The radiance moved toward us like a river of gold, flowing effortlessly, and when it touched our hearts, we felt something break, but it wasn't pain. It was the ancient chain we once believed eternal. It was the weight we carry without knowing, the guilt that chased us like a faithful shadow, the voice of the past that still insisted on speaking. All of it fell, all of it turned to dust when his light touched our story. And there, in that exact moment between falling and being reborn, we cried, yes we cried, but they were clean tears, tears that washed, tears that announced something new is coming. And as the light wrapped around us, we heard a gentle sound, a distant yet clear choir, as if thousands of voices were celebrating our arrival. We were not worthy, yet they received us. We were not strong, yet they applauded us. It was the kingdom recognizing that we had persevered, that despite the valley, despite the fire, despite the nights without answers, we kept walking toward him. The light made us understand that it was never about our perfection, but about his grace that never leaves. Oh, divine radiance, light that transforms, light that restores, light that conquers every shadow of the soul. Remain over us, guide our breath, embrace our steps, make our spirit burn with your eternal fire. Make our eyes see as heaven see. If you illuminate us, nothing can stop us. If you surround us, everything comes to life again. Holy radiance, fire of the kingdom, make our lives a testimony of your power. Shine in us until we reach the promised home. Something different began to be felt in the atmosphere, a gentle trembling that was not fear, but live in expectation. The sky, which until then shone in calm, began to stir like an ocean of light, and the clouds gathered in shapes we had never seen. They looked like giant curtains, preparing to open at the exact moment when the kingdom decided to show us its splendor. The winds were singing, the air was trembling, and deep within the spirit rose a certainty impossible to ignore. The King is coming, and not as a memory, not as an ancient story, but as a real living, burning presence, able to ignite entire universes with a single glance. Every step we took echoed like a drum, as if all creation were marking the rhythm for a long-awaited encounter. And then we saw him. At first it was only a shine, like a star that chose to become great. But then little by little, his form began to reveal itself on the horizon. The Son of Man, the one who conquered death, the one who carried our sorrows, came through clouds white as justice and golden fire like eternal glory. His hands, still marked by sacrifice, were crowns of light. His eyes, brighter than the sunrise, looked with a love so deep that it made the entire soul tremble. And behind him, like an endless river, came angels, millions upon millions, their wings sounding like pure storms, their voices singing victory, announcing that the King was returning to gather his own. The whole world seemed to stop when his foot touched the edge of the visible sky. Time fell silent, voices faded into stillness, and our hearts beat as if they were a single one. Glory spread like an immense wave, filling the high and the low, overflowing hills, rivers and cities, entering every corner where a soul was still waiting. No one could remain the same before his presence. Pride broke, lies fled, darkness evaporated like rootless smoke. It was impossible to hide anything, because his light revealed it all. But instead of condemning us, it lifted us up. Instead of pushing us away, it drew us close. Instead of making us tremble in judgment, it made us tremble in love. And in that instant, when the whole sky announced his arrival, we heard his voice, a voice carrying tenderness and authority. Firm as a mountain, soft as living water, he said, I come for those who did not let go of my hand, for those who cried but did not retreat, for those who fell but rose again, for those who waited for me even when days were long. I come to take them home. And that phrase, so simple and so eternal, split the soul in two. Before and after, hope became certainty, and certainty became worship. O King who comes upon the clouds, glorious, eternal, incomparable, descend upon us with your majesty. destiny. Come, Jesus, and lead us to the home prepared from eternity.
When the king descended with indescribable majesty, something began to happen inside us, something beyond any human explanation. It was as if a living current made of pure light entered our chests and awakened what had been asleep. We felt our strength returning, our ancient wounds stopping their pain, the fears that had followed us all our lives becoming small, so small, that they vanished like dust blown by the wind. Our eyes opened in a different way, no longer seeing only with flesh, but with spirit. And what was once blurry or confused suddenly became clear as a newborn sunrise. We understood that His presence was not only coming to guide us, but to transform us from the root.
The closer He came, the stronger we felt that sacred change. Our bodies marked by time, by weariness, by battles, were filled with a beauty that did not belong to the earth. It was as though eternity, drop by drop, was restoring every fiber of our being. The weight of the past no longer ruled, guilt had no place. Scars became radiant testimonies, like stars placed on the skin, to remind us God rescued us. The heartbeat with a new rhythm, a melody heard only in the presence of the King. And as He moved toward us, we knew we were being prepared for the final encounter that would change everything forever. The air was filled with a holy silence, so deep it seemed alive. Each of us felt that heaven was about to open the eternal chapter. And then it happened, the King lifted His hand, the same hand marked by nails that conquered death. And from His palm came a light so wide and so warm that it surrounded us like an eternal embrace. Our bodies were wrapped in that glory, and the mortal began to loosen, as if gravity itself were losing its power. We felt the sadness we carried for years evaporate in an instant. We felt all that was broken being joined. We felt every tear we cried in secret being gathered by His light. And there before Him, we understood everything. We were being transformed to live where there is no end. In that glorious moment, what was earthly became heavenly. What was weak became strong. What was temporary became eternal. The Spirit lifted us like a gentle wind, and we realized that we no longer belong to the night, nor to pain, nor to the time that wears away. We belong to the kingdom. And as the King looked at us with eyes of tender flame, a voice inside our hearts, not outside, inside, whispered, "Now you are full children, now you are mine forever." And that whisper, more beautiful than any song, became an eternal seal upon our soul. Oh, glory.